Okay, I'm gonna kind of fiddle through this. So sorry if I kind of jump or I'm jittery. This is the first video that I'm making, so I'm a little blah, 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 blah. So just kind of bear with me. My name is Kiana Davis. I have a Facebook page, and also now I have this YouTube channel where I'm going to be sharing some tutorials on kind of how to paint. I'm going to have some other stuff that I'm going to do on my YouTube channel, but for right now we're just focusing on these paintings that I've made. On Facebook, I've been advertising them. They're basically some quarantine kits. They come with all the supplies that you would need. Right now I'm selling one for $15, or you can get two of the canvases. Oops. You can get two of the canvases for $25, and that's everything included. Right now, if you have signed into this because you have the quarantine kit already, this is basically how they come. So you'll get your little package in the mail, which will be something like this, or it'll either come into the mail to you in a box, or I'll drop it off to you in something like this simple little brown bag. Inside you'll have your canvas, and your canvas is already stenciled out and everything for you, so you don't have to worry about that part. And then here in the back, we're just gonna go ahead and go straight into supplies. So we have the napkin that you're gonna need, so let's go ahead, and your two brushes. So let's take those two out. And your little napkin, and you can put it onto a flat surface. I'm going to be using this canvas so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing. But yeah, you have these two that'll come with you. In the packet, you have all of the paints that you'll need. So just kind of take them out. You have your brown, red, white, green, yellow, blue, and black. So take all of those out. Now, this part is optional. We're just gonna go ahead and dive in. This part is optional. If you want to, you can just keep all of your paints in these little containers. They're cute. You don't have to worry about wasting any extra supplies or getting anything extra. But what I actually did is I got a little plate. You can use anything. This paint will wash off of an actual plate that you have in your house, or if you want to put it on a paper plate so you can just toss it out, you can do that. But yeah, you just take them out and put all your paints on there. But before you do that, let's talk about what other supplies you'll need. Let's see. You need a little container so that you can put some water in. A little glass cup will work, plastic cup, anything you have. Just something to put some water in, and grab yourself something to drink. If you're putting in plastic cups, don't put your cup near your water, because there is a chance you will drink it. I've done it a couple times. That's why I now paint my jars, so that I know that I shouldn't be drinking out of them. Let's see. And paint down. Stay. Alright, so we can kind of go ahead and just jump into it. I'm just going to try to get into everything. I also have some headphones with me. You can listen to some music, you know, get really relaxed, get really comfortable. What I want everybody to do right now is, if you have some music that you can play, or even if it's like meditation music, or if you like rock or country, rap, R&B, whatever it is, get your music. Go ahead and just pause this video here. Go ahead and get your music all set so that you can kind of loosen up, because painting can sometimes be really nerve-wracking. So I want you guys to like shake off all the jitters. My back hurts, so this is actually doing nothing for me. But go ahead and just kind of shake yourself off, do a little shaky dance, get up and shake a little something, and let's go ahead and sit down and let's get all our paint figured out. Now, if you are going to just be using these and not grabbing a plate, that's totally fine. Keep in mind, we will have to mix a little bit of paint, but it's up to you. I recommend getting a plate, because that's what I'm going to be doing. So if you're following along with me, I would get a plate. So if you are scooping your paint out and putting them on a plate, I actually have it organized in a specific way. I don't know what that is. Ooh, what is that? Probably like some dirt from my plants. Okay, so as you can see, we have all of our primary colors. I don't know if anybody remembers primary colors, but it's basically all the colors that you need to mix. I didn't put the brown on here because I'm not going to be using it for Ella. But if you want to do something, we're going to do some variations at the end. So if you end up needing it, that's perfectly fine. Throw it on here too. You could leave it in the container. That's what I would do. I would leave it in the container, but put all these colors on here definitely. So I have it set up in this order. So I have my white, then I have yellow, I have my green, my blue, my red, and my black. In this order, because this will help if we go to, let's say we want a lighter green and we want to mix these two. They're right next to each other. It makes it nice and easy. Same thing if we want like kind of a greenish blue. If we want to mix and make purple, we can do that. So all of your mixing colors are here. And then your black and white, because we're going to need to make gray, they're right next to each other. So that'll be really easy for you guys to do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Let's just hop right into it. We've already done our nervous jitter dance. I'm going to put in one of my headphones. So if you see me kind of, that's why. Okay. I'm gonna move the camera so that you guys can see a little bit better the actual canvas. Alright, so I know it's sad you're not gonna see my party face no more, but Ella is what matters. Let me get you guys nice and close. Let's see. Bam, okay. So we're good. So again, I have my water, 2 brushes. So we have, let's actually talk about the brushes real quick. We have this thicker one. It's not really, they're both teeny tiny, but we have this one that is more rectangle, that's a little fuller. And then we have this cute little pointy one. Ooh, nice and pointy. So the pointy one is gonna be for kind of our details and getting into maybe like these tiny little cracks in the background. Look, we're gonna use this one for, and this is for more of the filling in. We're gonna do almost everything with this. So let's go ahead and just put the white, the tiny one away. I almost said white, it's blue. Okay. So you can do this one or two ways. I went blank. Okay, so we're gonna start off with our background. So I want my background to be purple. So you can see I got a lot of purple going on right here because I like purple. So I'm gonna start off, we make purple with these 2 colors, so blue and red. Now I want mine to be a lot softer of a purple. So I'm gonna mix these 2 together. And it's gonna look a little cray-cray right now. It's gonna be really dark. See, I'm gonna use this little bit that I'm making right here. So I really want it to be a light purple. You can pick any color you want. So let's say if you want like you just want yellow and you want it to be kind of like a light yellow, you can mix your yellow and white. If you want it to be blue and you want it to be dark blue, you can mix your blue with a little bit of black. That works. You can do whatever you want. Any color you like. I want purple, so I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna dip straight into my white because I need it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some from the edge. This will kind of help keep your colors clean. Oh, that's a pretty color. Okay, I think I want it a little lighter. So I'm gonna grab some more white. If anyone's listening to music in the comments below, tell me what you're listening to. I'm listening to Janae. I'm waiting so long. Okay. Ooh, yes. That's pretty. I'm trying to keep this in one area. Okay. You don't need a lot because this isn't a huge canvas. I probably made a little bit more than I'm gonna need. But it's a pretty purple. So this is what I was saying, that you could do it one or two ways. If you want to, and you're a little type A, which means you're a little particular, you like things to be very neat and clean, go ahead and grab a good little scoop-a-loop of this, and you can just start painting the canvas. Just fill it all in. And what you can do, go right against the black line. You don't have to cover it, but if you did, it's fine. It's not the end. So you can go around and you can kind of line everything out with your brush and paint it that way. Be very neat about it. You can do that. Or you can go bam, right? Get some on your finger and just kind of finger paint. Get in there, move it around. You don't have to keep your canvas on the table or wherever you have it sitting up. Feel free to, like, let's see, I'm gonna put some over here. Yeah, get in there with it, you know, pick it up, tilt it however you need to. And just kind of fill everything in. This is fun to me, so I'm using my fingers. Now I'm also going to paint around the edges. So I'm gonna come up here. So y'all do that. Okay. Now something that is an option as well, if you don't want it to be one solid color, like if this doesn't look pretty to you or cool, you can do any kind of background you want. You can do multiple colors. So let's say, or if you just, I know I'm skipping around, but if you just want to kind of fill everything in with your finger, just so it's faster. Because we don't want to spend a lot of time on the background. The background's important, but it's not that important. I actually kind of like the way that it looks a little bit more when you do your finger, because it looks, you don't see as many of the brush marks. But you see how, like, right here, I kind of went over. It's fine because you can still see the Sharpie underneath. So even if you're a little rough with this, that is just fine. I know I have a lot of younger kids that are going to be doing this. It's just fine, guys. Look. It's no biggie. You see how you can still see the Sharpie underneath? That's why I did Sharpie, so that we're allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes are good for you. Don't forget to wrap the paint around the sides, guys. But you don't have to if you don't want to. You can do whatever you want to do. This is your painting. You paid for it. If you decide that you want a pink elephant and a pink background, and you're just like, ooh, whole thing. You wanna do that? That's fine. You already paid for the canvas. So that is completely fine with me. Okay, so what I was kind of saying about doing multiple colors. So let me zoom this back out. Whoop, wrong way. Bam, bam, bam. Yep, that's as far as it goes out. And let's go back up. Okay, so if you want to do multiple colors, I'm not gonna get too crazy with mine because I'm a little type A myself. So you can actually, what I'm doing, you can do this with any color. Now I want mine to be the purple color with a little bit of white in it. So all I'm doing is going in with my brush, not cleaning it off, and keeping it dirty with the paint. And I'm just gonna come in here. I'm gonna do some little marks. You can make it as textured as you want it to be. See, I'm gonna come into these edges and kind of clean that up. But I want some of these little white marks to show. Let's see. And I went over this little hair bit up there. It's fine, you'll still be able to see it. Now, if you don't like the idea of the hair, cover that thing up. Your elephant does not have to have hair if you do not want it to. The reason why we kind of want to do this quickly is so if you do go back and you want to do this part where you're adding in more color or anything like that, you can, because the paint is still wet, so it blends in really nicely. Now, if you get a spot on there, let's say you grabbed too much paint, right? And you made a big blob of white. You don't want to do that, that's fine. You want to take that back, you're like, oh no, too much paint. What you do is you roll your brush on your plate, anywhere, and you can just scoop that off. And then since it's still wet, you can spread it out and blend that into the paint. Or if after you do this, you know, you blend it in and you're like, oh, I really like the way it looks a little bit lighter and you didn't like the way you mixed it here, you can add more of that color. And like I said, since it's wet, if you kind of go back and forth on it, it'll end up blending into your paint. And it'll be the color that you want it to be. But I said that we're not going to take a lot of time on this, so we're not. So I'm done with the background. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing my brush over here to my water, doing a little swisheroo, put it all the way at the bottom of the cup and really go. You should hear the swishes. Okay. All right. So with that napkin, this is what we have it for. We're going to be wiping off our brush. So when you wipe it, it should be fairly clean. That means that you have all your paint off. So just kind of push that in. Don't stab it. It's a little cuckoo neeners. Just gonna kind of wipe it back and forth. So, what color are elephants? Elephants typically are gray. So, the way that I'm gonna do this is I have my black and my white next to each other. So gray is more white than it is black. So I'm gonna take just the tiniest little bit, millet, and I'm just gonna start mixing it in over here with this white. Just kind of swirling it together. You see, I'm not taking a lot of my black. Not making a huge mess on my plate. But if you want to, that's cool too. I am going to make a decent amount of this gray color because we're gonna need it for the entire elephant. So really get into that white. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, I almost dropped my brush. I'm just gonna swirl, 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 swirl. Okay, so my gray needs more black. So I'm gonna go in that and do that. Now your elephant can be as light gray or as dark gray as you want to. If you're making this to like match a room, whatever it may be. Just kind of mix it until you get the color that you want. Yeah, I think that's good. It's a nice gray color. So I'm actually going to start right up here. So I'm just gonna do it. Do. So kind of the way that I want you guys to do this, because the way that this paint is, it's gonna show your paint strokes. It just is. So I'm doing is I'm going across the top, really lining that out, and I'm covering over the black line. So what I'm doing up here is I'm doing kind of half circle motions. You see how I'm doing that? Going like this. I'm going to do that all the way down the nose. Or trunk. I'm going to do that all the way down the trunk. And when I get down to the bottom, it's not that big of a deal anymore. Just kind of paint it. And if you need to kind of paint the sides, it's okay for you to line the sides out. You don't have to do that motion. There we go, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, and then start bringing that out. Okay, so what I want you guys to do here, so this paint should still be wet because we literally just did it. So I'm gonna come over to the part of my white that's clean. And I'm gonna take a little bit from the side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start here. These are kind of gonna be like highlights. So I'm gonna start at the middle. I'm just gonna kind of go down. Take a little bit more. Don't over blend this, because then you're gonna make it, don't go back and forth too many times. That's what over blending is. Don't go back and forth too many times. Just do maybe like one. You can actually just pick up the paint, make a little stroke. Okay. Picking up a little bit more paint, and I'm going all the way down nose. And then at the bottom here, I'm keeping the white kind of to the inside of the trunk. Okay, so I'm only doing like this half of it in here. Okay. And if you have some spots that don't really look like you can see the white very well, just go back over them. That's cool. Okay. Alright, now I'm not going to rinse my brush off. All I'm going to do is get my napkin and just kind of wipe off that extra paint. That's all I'm doing. Because I'm going to just go right back into the gray, so it's not a big deal. So we're just gonna go ahead and paint in the face, and I'm gonna follow kind of the curve that her face is. If you just wanna go in there and do like this, that's cool too. It's not a big deal. But I'm gonna try to follow this little curve in her face. I'm just gonna fill it in. It really only matters right here near her cheeks. Or his cheeks. Whatever the elephant is to you, a boy or a girl. And as you see, I'm going right over the Sharpie lines. Like I said, as you can tell with the paint, you'll still be able to see the Sharpie lines underneath. And it's good for us to be able to see them still, so that when we go back over, we can just go over and the black, when we outline everything, we'll be able to see it straight through the canvas. So this is good that you can still see it. If you put a lot of paint, let's say you put a lot of paint down, right, and you can't see it, that's fine. Just kind of wipe that extra paint away. It'll still be on the canvas, but this way you can still see the elephant. There's a lot of paint on your brush, and you, like I said, you cover it, just kind of wipe it away. It's really easy to wipe a lot of extra paint off with this brush. Okay, so we did the cheeks. We're gonna come out here, and now we're gonna do the ears. So I'm doing the same kind of thing with the ears. I'm gonna follow this little curve. I'm just gonna fill that in. And we're gonna do one ear at a time. So if you're a fast painter, we're painting one ear at a time. Slow down. We're just kind of skip through me painting my ear. Go at your own pace. So if you are going fast, cool, power to you. But just kind of skip through me painting this part so that I'm at your pace. So what I'm doing here to kind of get these smoother lines, what I'm doing is I'm having a decent amount of paint on my brush, and I'm actually pressing down, like actually pushing on the canvas, putting some pressure, and I'm pushing, and then I'm using the very end of my brush to kind of follow the curves. Or if you feel more comfortable with kind of outlining all of these spots with your pointy brush, you can do that. I don't think you have to, but if you want to, if it makes you feel better, feel free. So I'm gonna do this. So I got the ear covered, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna wipe my brush off again, and I'm gonna go back into the same little corner where we were pulling the white from, and starting from kind of the inner part, this, you see where that little line is right here? I'm actually gonna paint that. So I'm turning the brush like this, so instead of having it like this, I'm having it like this, I'm turning it like this. So from up and down to like a minus sign. And I'm gonna go down. So boom, you have a highlight for the ear. And then if you cake the bunch up right there, that's fine. Just kind of flick that upwards. And I'm also gonna do that over here, and over here, and over here. Just kind of following those little inner parts right there. Can't really see that too well. Didn't do too much to it, just lining it up just a little bit. And now we're gonna go over, we're gonna do this ear. So go back into your gray color, I'm going to come over here, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the brush. I'm going to press down, and then follow the curve of that ear. Fine. Not so much bam. Okay, now we're just going to fill it in. And I'm just pulling the paint down so that the paint strokes kind of follow the direction of the ear. You don't have to do this. Paint it, fill it in however you'd like. That's just what I'm doing. So same thing here. Following that edge with my brush. Boom. All nice and filled in. And then you see over here too, you can kind of still see the Sharpie lines in here. That's exactly what you want. So you're going to do the same thing to this side. We're going to go ahead and grab some paint from over here. A little bit of white. Now if you had a lot of brush on your paint. If you have a lot of paint on your brush, again, go ahead and wipe it off on your napkin. I have mine folded in half. You don't have to fold yours in half. Do whatever you want. And then pick up a little bit of that white, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do minus sign with the brush and bring it down that ear. Staying inside of that line, that Sharpie line that's there. It's kind of doing this curve. So you don't want to go over this part too much because the paint is still wet, so it's going to do that thing where it kind of just, it blends in and in and in. So you don't want to go over it too many times. So I'm going to do this one. I'm doing kind of the inner parts. I'm coming right up to the Sharpie line and I'm putting the highlight there. Add some more white. And inside this one. And then I'm actually going to do this whole side right here. Now if you feel like you can kind of see it doesn't look like it's very well blended, let me see if I can zoom you in. You can kind of tell with mine right here that you can see where the brush stroke is. Can you? Here, yeah, that's a little better. You can see where this is, and it just looks like a little arch and arch. Wrong way. Okay, so what you do for that, wipe your brush off, and then just kind of pull that up so that it blends in.